Hello everyone and welcome to Ironhog MX. I think that's the best I could do. Trying to get the whole track in the shot. We're not gonna do. Well, we could probably do a quick fly through for this one. Well, it's not gonna be that quick because this track is freaking long, but we'll do it. So, gate down here. Start over here. We did do heats for this race as well. I think it ended up being Luke and Slaunch with the wins in the heats for this track. But yeah, heats for this night, and this is actually the last night of the regular season, if you want to put it that way. Technically, since we combine them now, the last week is like the last week of both. But if you want to still separate it, yeah, it's the last regular season week. So it's grand final after this, last normal like 2-race night. And so we did some prep after this night, checking out some of those tracks, trying to figure things out because. I don't think any of them are tracks that have been raced before. They're all new cooks, so obviously you want to go through and make sure everything is good with those. Because new tracks can be really cool, but obviously without enough testing, things can slip through and there can be weird stuff. You obviously don't want that for the grand final, so we're testing some stuff out, figuring all that out. But before that, did our 2 races. First of them here on Ironhog. Second one's going to be on Wabash. I think it's Creek. Maybe it's Canal. I don't remember. We'll find out. By Roman. So yeah, starting off with this track. This is actually one that we've raced before. And if we had a new Hog MX, we probably would have done it. But I thought about doing one, didn't really get around to it. These are pretty freaking massive projects, to be fair. I don't even want to know how long it took Slaunch to do this. So we did Ironhog earlier in the year, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool track, pretty unique track. So decided to run it back, and there's a lap. That whole spiel we got through it. So let's go through the starting lineup. We do 2 rows in this one, left to right. We're going to go left to right on this one. It's going to be Detail, Slaunch, Luke, and Elite. And then the back row, it's going to be Hunter, Soul, Roman, Armada, Biggie Bagda. It's really catching on. And then and then Camby right to left for the back row. It's going to be a 9-lap race. And we're going to start on a grenade, I believe. Camby's kind of hard to see off to the side, but trust. Camby is there. But yeah, 9-lap race. I think it's 25 checkpoints. And the nade is out. Oh, and we're green. So let's see how it goes. Off the start, looks like... oh, man. Elite running out of room there on the inside. Slaunch with a pretty good start. But falls back, doesn't get the speed going into the first section that he was hoping for, so he's going to fall back quite a bit off that. It's going to be Luke Detail for the battle early on, and Hunter and Camby duking it out for the podium spot. Slaunch still in 5th, trying to get back in there. And really quickly he will. Hunter cases. Camby had some issues, and Slaunch will get right back to that top 3. Oh, case on the table. This might be close here. Detail at the inside, Luke at the far outside. And here we go. Close battle for the lead. Oh, they get caught midair with the slow-mo replay action. Both of them battling for the lead championship. Very close going into this night. See, trying to make this, trying to make 2 wide through this jump work, which is very, very, very tough. And just a little bit of rear clip right there, and that's going to chalk it. They try to keep it as clean as possible, but yeah, it was kind of, except for that slam there at the end. But it was kind of, as soon as that midair contact happened, it was kind of over. But luckily, not too bad. That could have worked out really poorly for Detail, but it ended up being like pretty soft contact, and Luke ends up staying in 2nd. Detail still battling for 3rd with Roman, so not too bad. Oh, that could have been bad though, but they keep it going. Hunter 2-wheeling, keeping it going as well. This whole back section, very, very tricky. Very easy to go down through here. Roman really aggressively battling early on, trying to keep the fight open for that 3rd place spot. And Slaunch with the rough initial start ends up getting there at the end of the lap and ends up leading the first lap down. Slaunch and Luke took the motos of this track when we raced it back in Mega Mix months ago, earlier in the year. Detail taking 3rd, I think, in both of them. And right now, it is Slaunch, Luke, and Detail battling for 3rd. So Seeing some similar stuff, but a lot of race left to play. We did see some really good battles, though, when we raced it before, so I'm sure we'll see some more of that. I don't think it's going to just single out already. Detail eventually getting around Roman for that third place spot. Roman's still doing a good job trying to stay involved there, but he does get a rough line. There he's going to lose a little bit of time. He's still in a pretty good position, but he is going to get a big case right there. And luckily for Camby, Camby was not following Roman. Oh, here we go. So Camby's likely, well, we kind of saw it. Camby's going to take that spot. Looks like Slaunch had issues here too. Is it on the end of the tabletop? It is. He gets that case, and then here comes Luke, and here we go. The cut down battle for the lead is on. Too wide here again, and surprisingly, they're able to make it work. I think they're able to make it work better because they both came from the outside. When it was Luke and Detail was coming from the far inside, and Luke was coming from the far outside. So it was two very, very different lines coming together. That time, Slaunch and Luke were both running essentially the same line, just side by side. So I think that's why I was able to work a little bit better. They both had the momentum. They both were a little more predictable. Slaunch getting really squirrely in this back section, but Luke over clearing super hard. So let's see how this works out. Slaunch does go wide at the end. The battle is on. This great battle so far. Look at that, just very close, tight battling here. Through the whoops, and Slaunch hitting that tight inside, but will he have the speed to clear? He does. It's a little loose, but not too bad. It's honestly pretty good. Oh, hard clear from Luke there. And Detail's not too far behind in third, so it may even be a three-way battle soon if they keep this up. But yeah, the two heat winners right now going at it out front. Roman has dropped back a bit. That caseage, and Camby going into a solid fourth place now. I think Roman fell back to fifth. Top three very, very close. At this moment, big points left on the board here. Slaunch trying to stamp that third place advantage that he has. Oh, another cut down. Here we go. This could be another battle. But Luke not going to have the speed on the jump. So Slaunch is going to keep going. Could have ignited the first place battle again there, but just not enough speed. And now second place might be under threat. And here we go. We have kind of the similar scenario, but the roles reversed potentially. Oh, no, not quite, because Detail wasn't quite close enough. But Detail trying to make something happen there for a second. Not quite able to do so. And like I said, when it's how Slaunch and Luke did it, where they're both coming from the outside, it's not that bad. Like, you can actually hit it side by side when that's the case. But when it's one driver deep inside, one driver deep outside, that's when things get pretty difficult in that section. Because the lines are so different, and the speed difference is just huge. And oh no, Slaunch goes down here. What happened to Slaunch here? Just has a really big speed here. Oh, he hit the rock on the entry. He hit the rock on the entry. That's what happened. But right in front of Luke, nowhere to go, so Luke has to go off to the side. Here comes Detail around the outside. Slaunch comes back in, and Detail will take advantage. He'll take the lead off that. That's a big moment in the race. It looked like it could have been Luke's lead to take, but Slaunch just in that perfect spot to cover that inside. Detail on the outside. Generally the least preferred line right there, but in that particular scenario, it was the place to be. It's a very, very close three-way battle now. A few laps down. And we had some really good battle action at Ironhog in Mega Mix, and it's looking like we're getting some of that here too. Absolutely crazy track here, but can get some good battles. Slaunch got a little loose. Is he going to have enough speed? He's not. He's going to come up short. It's going to give up second place again. So both the heat winners having some issues right now, and Detail got second in his heat. Is off to the lead. It's a big moment for him again. Slaunch and Luke did take the wins here the previous race, but if Detail could come out with this one, I mean, this would be between any of this top three, this would be a huge win for any of them for different reasons. If Luke could get it, it'd be I think 4 in a row, and would really bring that championship back into his favor. If Detail could get it, he could stop that momentum. If Slaunch could get it, I mean, he's already in a really good spot, but it's really gonna secure that third place for Slaunch. Like, he's just nobody's gonna be anywhere near him, for sure. If he could get a win here, and would obviously give him some really good, potential for the overall and some good momentum, going into the grand final as well. Because that's the thing, right? Obviously, this night is going to set up the regular season placements quite a bit. Now those race results in the grand finals can definitely still play a role, but this night will definitely. Oh, look at this! A weird incident for Luke there, and the battle for second. Slaunch and Luke just want to keep going at it. This moto apparently it might be back on, but yeah, should set the scene for most of the regular season points battles. But the grand finals is just like a complete, it's its own thing. It's a complete reset for the grand finals. So any type of momentum you can get off of a good night here to carry into the grand finals, you won't have it in terms of points, but to have that confidence could be really huge for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how the grand finals goes, because every grand final we've done, we did that extra tournament as well in the summer. Like, all of those have been pretty crazy this season. Or this year, I should say. And then Luke comes up short. They just don't want to stop battling, apparently. They just don't want to stop battling. Detail's too far out in front, so just gotta keep it going with each other here. Oh, here we go. Oh, Slaunch did dip off a little bit. That was probably pretty smart. Again, like, trying to do that when they're running that different lines, like, it's really hard to do, because that rear end, with Luke having so much momentum and Slaunch having not a whole lot of momentum, it's going to collide, and they're going to come together just how Detail and Luke did at the start. So Slaunch letting off there, I think, was a pretty smart move. It didn't cost him that much time, and it kept the battle going, and it was probably faster for both of them to do it. So you can see with these mistakes that they've been making, they've just both not been able to put in a complete clean lap. Slaunch and Luke have just had plenty of issues this whole race. Detail, there he goes. He's really gotten away here. Again, not able to get on that top step when we race this in Mega Mix, but he's having a really good show right now. And there's a lot of time running out. We're about halfway. Oh, Slaunch coming up a little bit short or slow there, and Luke on his back. That could have been really rough, but luckily not too bad. And meanwhile, with all this cheesing, it's actually Roman. Roman got back around Camby. Camby must have had big issues, because Camby's not even in fifth anymore. It's Hunter and Soul. And get an update here. There's Camby, Elite, and Biggie Bagda. So yeah, I mean, Camby must have had big issues. Must have had absolutely massive issues. That pack is pretty tight. And again, it's Slaunch, Luke, and Roman. So Roman is kind of closing back in. They've made so many mistakes. Detail's really gotten away. Roman started to close back in. See if we could spice up this podium battle. And to be fair, Roman has been getting back into it. He's still looking for a win this season. He hasn't been able to get one, which is interesting after the summer was really good for Roman. The tournament that we held, and then the short track showdown as well. Like, Roman really came into his own in the summer. He had a really good run. It was probably his best showing in a long time. And he was up there in the win count. He had 6 or 7 wins. I don't remember the exact total, but quite a few W's from Roman in the short track showdown, and then he got a couple in that tournament as well. And still looking for one, which is interesting, because we've had a lot of different drivers have been able to get a victory in this season, but Roman hasn't been able to get on that top step. So, but that being said, like I was getting to, he's had some good momentum. He's had a lot of podiums. He's been getting better overall results. He's been having better consistency. He's really been improving his season in the last couple weeks, but not enough to get a dub. So that's a storyline for me going into the grand finals, is to look out for a Roman victory to see if he can do it in a moto, because he's had such a strong summer, and he's really been getting back to where he was there in these last few weeks. So he's kind of had some momentum. I'm curious to see if he can get that dub in the grand final. I think maybe he could. I think he's someone to look out for. It seems like Sanch and Luke are starting to settle in a little bit. It looks like Roman was closing back in, but it looks like they've stretched the gap again. Detail, maybe even closed in on Detail a bit, but he's still got a very, very, very large lead. Oh, the case for Slaunch. There it is. Every time we bring it up, something new happens with them. They just keep going back and forth. And it's going to lead to a case on the table. It just costs so much time. And Slaunch is going to lose second place right there. We'll see if he can bring it back. He's definitely going to lose it for the moment. Yeah, I think they actually made a little bit on Detail there, but Detail's still got a really, really large gap Lamau at this point. So I think it's gonna be tough coming to, I think, 2 or 3 to go here, for that gap to close, but it maybe has a bit. That being said, Roman, I mean, he's lost a bit here, but he's still in the realm where if Slaunch or Luke make a couple consecutive mistakes, Roman could be right back into it. But yeah, look at this. Yeah, it seems like it's back to where it was a little bit, but I mean, they've still got a ways to go. Slaunch not staying too far off Luke's bumper, only a few hog lengths, trying to, stay involved there. Any slight mistake. We see the mistakes on this track. The mistakes on this track are really costly. I think that's the thing here on Ironhog is it really is about the consistency. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some big lines you got to be able to hit to have the speed, but when you make a mistake on this track, it costs you so much. Like, if you can just run clean laps the whole way, you're going to finish on the podium, and have a really good shot at the win, for sure. Seems to definitely be the focus on this track. Top 3 is definitely separated a bit at this point. Roman in 4th. I think we are on 2 to go. Let's get an update on the field now that it's separated out a bit. See how they appear there. Too far away, I guess. Hunter's still running in top 5. He was pretty solid here when we raced it at Megamix as well. To be fair, he does have Soul very close behind him, so Hunter can't slack at all here. He's gotta still be on it, but he's in a good position for a top 5, which would be nice for him there. And there's Campy. And oh, look at this. Biggie Bagda got around Elite. We'll see if we can hold on to it. He's in a nice position there. All right, so I think we are coming to the white flag this time by, and it's been a pretty good moto, and there's been some good battles, but there's not that much time left remaining. It seems like it settled out a little bit. Luke did have a slow run on the back section. I think Slaunch made up a little bit of the time that he lost in the beginning part of the lap there. So second place is still pretty respectable, but there you see Detail coming to white flag, 1 to go. He's been really solid on the MXs this season. Was very close to getting the dub the last MX race that we did. Just a few too many cheeses on that track. I don't want to call them mistakes because that track was it is a solid track, but some of the instances that happened were definitely like, I don't know. I don't think you could really do too much in your power to avoid them. But yeah, unfortunately coming up short because of that. But he's been really solid in the MX this season. He's looking to bounce back here and get the 1 Hog MX dub. And if he gets this dub, I think it'll pretty much lock in the MX title as well for him on the season. Slaunch and Luke have been pretty close and pretty competitive with each other, and they've gotten a win here or there, but overall consistency Detail's just been on it. And it looks like he's going to be back on it here. Slaunch with a run there. Second place battle's not done. Slaunch sticking with it. Still a little bit of time remaining, and still maybe a chance for him to get there. Gotta hit that big line. Looks like Luke and Slaunch both hit it successfully. Oh, Slaunch with a little bit of a case. Normally not that big of a deal, but on the last lap when you're trying to make up that gap, it is definitely pretty big deal. He's got to be pretty much perfect unless Luke makes a mistake. Here we go. Last time through here. Detail, nice landing, nice and clean. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, at this point, just got to get through the whoops, look at the gap. I think it's safe to say he's going to do it. Gonna bounce back here. He's been really close the last few races. Well, gonna bounce back here. Gonna get the dub at Ironhog. Takes the win. I think that's a big number 10 for him on the season too. And it ended up being really close and scrappy, but But Luke will hold on to the second over Slaunch. They had a really close finish in one of the motos too. They've had some close battles here, but Luke will barely hold on to this one. See Slaunch going for it, full send to the far inside. That's definitely what he had to do, but just not enough there. So Luke second, Slaunch third. And then Roman kind of just in his own area code. He had some opportunities for sure, but just going to be a solidly in fourth in this one, which ain't too bad. Not too great, but not too bad. And Hunter not close behind at the end. Will definitely take this top 5. It's been a solid track for him. Hunter not usually as hot on the SXs and the MXs. It's not a great finish, but he tends to do pretty well here. So another top 5 for him on Ironhog. Look at this. Camby clutches up on Soul in the last lap. Might have to look back and see how that happened. It's a big regain. Biggie Bagda gets that finish over Elite. Let's see what happened there. I'm curious. Oh, well, if we can get a reasonable look at it, we'll take a gander. Oh yeah, this is pretty reasonable. So let's see what happened here. So Soul was trying to track down Hunter. This is going into the white flag. You can see Soul big diving to the inside of the whoops, and he pops out to the middle. Yeah, you can see it developing right there. So he went. Did we get conked again? Rather. Oh, so see, Hunter made a mistake there too. We didn't see that. So Hunter made a mistake there. That's what allowed Soul to close in. And I think Soul just saw the opportunity. I think he was close enough, and he just kind of said, fuck it. Went for it here. And I think he got a way bigger send on the exit of the whoops than he expected. I feel like he was trying to... Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he was trying to maybe nail the inside there. But he just got a massive send on the exit of the whoops. And he kind of just landed... He landed like on the inside, but in the middle. And that obviously is not going to work out too well. He goes over. And luckily for Hunter, Hunter was just able to avoid it. If he wrecked in front of Hunter, that would have been really bad. Full dismount. And there goes Camby right over him. And let's see if Soul is able to regain it at all. I mean, yeah, Camby had a pretty big gap. Oh, but Camby gets super sideways right there. That allowed Soul to close it back in a little bit. Oh, Soul with some issues there in the rocks, but then clean runs here. Oh, little case again. They're both having issues. Guessing Camby maybe has some squirrely action here. Oh, just goes a little bit wide. Just goes a little bit wide. That allows Soul to close it in a little bit. And Soul, I'm assuming, just goes for the same send, because now see what he did right there. I think that's what Soul wanted to do. Like, he was in a different angle, but I think the line that he nailed right there is what he wanted to do. At least in his head, probably. On Hunter the lap previous, but he just did not have. He was just a little too far inside. He didn't have the right angle to pull that off. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Soul watches this. He can hit us with the insight, but I mean, either way, obviously did not want to go down. But I don't know. I'm thinking he maybe wanted to rip that inside and give it a real good shot on Hunter right there, but he just didn't quite have the entry that he was looking for. Now, thankfully for him on the last lap, he did have it and he was able to nail it, but unfortunately he wasn't nearly close enough to Camby for it to matter. But see this really nice clean line that he hits right here. Very, very cleanly executed. That was nice, actually. That was really nice. Hitting that inside and then keeping the line going how he did there at the finish, that is not easy to do. That is not easy to do at all. It's really easy to mess up, actually. Absolutely nailed it on the last lap, but unfortunately just lost a little too much already at that point. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Nice, always nice racing on Ironhog. Was nice revisiting this track again. Detail taking the win here. Big win for the championship. And I think number 10 on the season too. So big dub. Luke taking second. Slaunch taking third. Good starts for them for the overall for the night. Roman fourth and Hunter fifth in really good positions as well. Potentially for the second track. And we are going to go to a Roman track for the second track. We're going to go back to Reach. Reach is going to close out our last regular season race of the season. So let's head on over to it. See you guys there.